Well, Baleba to Man United deal is now off. Confirmed by all the credible sources, the deal is totally off. And Mazraoui is one of those that we're obviously going to be talking about in here onto this channel, as he obviously goes ahead, return back to training, and Amorim is expecting big changes. And he has obviously gone ahead to let us know when he expects his team to obviously come and really feature predominantly into his system that he wants them to play. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun, and continue to subscribe because we want to hit 10,000, sorry, we want to hit 22,000 subscribers. Left with like 340, right? So continue to subscribe in the due course. Now, before Fabrizio Romano came up and told us that this deal is no longer on, we got a story from Marco Alcaraz. Manchester United chances of signing Baleba this summer have reduced significantly in the past few hours due to Brighton not wanting to sell his reported price tag. United will now explore alternative midfielders options. Clubs still want to sign a high-intensity midfielder. Now, this story went ahead to excite me a lot, and you know how I've not been at par with everyone who wants to sign Baleba. You know that very well. I've not been at par with everyone who has obviously wanted the club of Man United to sign Baleba. Not so. And I want to let you know that if you really wanted United to sign Baleba now, then you don't wish Baleba well. Fabrizio Romano said Brighton closed doors for Baleba exit for this summer, and Man United will keep his name on the list for 2026. Man United love Baleba, seen as ideal player for Amorim, and will likely remain a target for next year. And if you tell me that Baleba comes in at Man United next year, I'll say yes, let him come in through at Man United next year. Why? One, when you look at the structure of Manchester United and how we are looking, you cannot obviously come and bring in players like you see Baleba for 120 million euros at the club of Manchester United that is struggling. And if he was at a level of players like maybe a Declan Rice who can really handle the pressure, Chiomini, you can talk about Thomas Partey, like at his age, you know, it would have gone ahead to be okay for the club of money to come out and obviously pay that amount of money for that lad. But right now, you cannot obviously sign in a player like him. One will say, Chelsea went ahead to sign in Moise Caicedo and went ahead to obviously represent. Guys, Moise Caicedo had been in the Premier League and played some good seasons, and he was one of the best midfielders in the Premier League that every team was really looking at. But this young lad is still a raw diamond that I believe he needs one more full season at Brighton to obviously enlighten his chances and really show the clubs that he's really ready to obviously go for the big stage. That is Baleba for you. So I don't want anyone to feel agitated about Manchester United not obviously getting in Baleba, because that's exactly what we are supposed to do. You understand? We were not supposed to go in for Baleba, as I told you. We needed another midfielder, you know, and after that, Fabrizio Romano has told us the following: that Man United have not yet decided on the midfielder. The club is aware of Moten Hojmland situation, who is open to joining them, but no talks have taken place between the clubs. Sporting do not want to lose another important player. Now, Manchester United has gone ahead obviously look at Hojmland as one of the replacements for all alternatives for a player known as Baleba. And I think he's one of those that has been onto our tongues and lips for some time as a player, because he's really one of those that Amorim has gone ahead to obviously look at. And by the way, even before Amorim came in throughout Manchester United, he was one of the players that United were scouting. Though for me, I believe Ederson at Atalanta is a better option. I think Ederson at Atalanta is a better option for Manchester United. And I would 100% go in for this player to see to it that all goes on well, to see to it that we don't really get into we don't really get into those to and back movements of it signing players, because Ederson, the reason why I love Ederson is he's a £50 million player, and £50 million is a price, it's a normal price now. But Homeland, they can call in for like £70 million. You understand? The pressure that it comes with to obviously coming through and execute the club of Man United is my worry totally. So I'm here to wait and see how United obviously going to be pushing in for this deal. But Manchester United are really looking in for other players that can obviously come in through and really do the job. The other reason as to why I never wanted a player like Baleba to come in through at Manchester United at that price this season is the presence of players like Casemiro. Imagine playing into the CDM area when Casemiro is on the bench. You know the pressure that it comes with. That's one of the things we should obviously go ahead to obviously consider hugely. You understand? So for me, I think let United set itself this season, and let's obviously get Baleba next season. You understand? I think that's what United should be obviously aiming at. Let's do what you're doing this season, and next season, let's obviously get into signing this Baleba player into the mix. So I'm really waiting to see who United is going to go in for. But I think that decision is really wise, that let's not go in for Baleba. Why should we spend £115 million on a player, who is just 20 and not a proven player? There is this amount of money they spend on a players who are really proven. For example, Arsenal went in for Declan Rice for £105 million. He was worth it. Chelsea paid £115 million for Moise Caicedo because we all knew to it that he was worth that level. And for Baleba, I don't think that he's worth that amount this season. And let's not act like a desperate club as if we don't have scouts all over Europe. And my point has always been, don't we have scouts that obviously get us a player that can obviously do that job, not at that hefty price. You understand? So I think I'm really excited that Brighton have gone ahead to block the transfer of Baleba, and United were all in for the player. They are willing to obviously break the bank and really see to it that they really get this player at the club of Man United. And thank God it never really went on as planned. And I was really impressed with the decision that Brighton have gone ahead to make. And let us look elsewhere. And by the way, it's going to be a blessing this guys for the club of Man United not to get in Baleba, because I was like, for that huge amount of money that they are willing to spend, how come that they're willing to spend? Why is it that we can't bring in maybe two players? Why don't we obviously reserve £50 million, Why don't we really reserve £50 million, for the January transfer window, maybe, or for the summer transfer window of next year? And I think it's better than really going in to obviously put in a shift of that amount of money. Let's do business well as a club of Manchester United, and let's not act like we are a team that is really doing the best. And I know what has gone ahead to obviously bring in the pressure. You know why? Manchester United has gone ahead to obviously do the needful, to see to it that they really get into Manchester United have gone ahead to obviously have pressure on them because they want to be playing in the Champions League. That's the problem that Manchester United is really having. That's why they're really trying to fidget and really go in for those players. And I tell you, however much Cunha for £62 million, 0.5 is okay. For me, Brian Mbeumo for £76 million, it's not okay, because I believe Ryan Cherki was there, and Ryan Cherki went for only £30 million. You understand? And Ryan Cherki is 100% better than Brian Mbeumo. That is it. Benjamin Sesko, good striker, good what? But I think United would have gone ahead obviously looking for other players, that help us to build a team. But all the signings that Manchester United have gone ahead to obviously do, all make, reflect one thing. Do you know what they reflect? They only reflect a frustration. They reflect amateurism. They reflect a quick fix. That's what they're really reflecting. If you know, they reflect a quick fix, because a club like Manchester United, in the state where we are, would have gone ahead to bring in players for 50, 60. That's why I've told you Cunha is okay. You get? But we cannot obviously rush into the market as if we are madmen to obviously do the needful into the mix. So that's all about a club known as Manchester United. And let's go to Mazraoui into the mix. A moment, I'm really having a call in here. All right. From Baleba, let's go to Mazraoui, and Mazraoui has now returned to grass training. He's training individually and working hard to be back with the group. Now stepping up recovery after a good process. That is a player known as Mazraoui in there for you. So the player Mazraoui is one of those that is highly respected at Manchester United and highly rated. He's a versatile player when it comes to playing as a right back and a right wing back. And the manager loves the player die. And when he's available, that's when the choice of certain players obviously going to be really hard to make. But him returning helps us a lot, because we all know how he is good when it comes to defending. He's really a very good player, and his defending tactics are really next to none. I love the player, and I've obviously gone ahead to tell people that he's really a special kind of player, and he has a special place in my heart as a player, because in his debut season, he proved to us that he's really one of the best players that we've gone ahead to recruit. And I think if we are really having a fully fit squad and these players are really available, we can hugely compete. And I think it can obviously come in through to see to it that the club of Manchester United really keeps on going and going and going and going to where they're supposed to be into the mix. So guys, Mazraoui is really one of those that you have to look at and really understand that he's a super player at the club of Manchester United in there. Now, the other guy that I want us to obviously talk about is the manager of Manchester United, Ruben Amorim. As you see that statement that he has obviously gone ahead, obviously put out there towards the game of Arsenal. He has said you can't expect big changes in 4 weeks of the preseason. He's right about it. I expect us to be a team that's more enjoyable to watch than last season. So he expects the team of Manchester United to be more enjoyable than last season. You understand? So the club of Manchester United is really very in trouble. I respect what the manager is going to have to say, but he was with these players from November last year to May this year, and these 4 weeks of the preseason were supposed to see him really put in practice what he thought these players are supposed to be and what he was coaching them all the time, because he repeatedly told us that he's not going to force these players. He's not obviously going to change this, meaning that From November to May, these players have been learning the system. And right now, these players should be perfecting the system in these 4 weeks. And for Cunha, he has been playing this system for so long, and we anticipate the best of the best for him. So I don't want him to obviously come here and really say lies to us, Our manager is really one of those that you obviously look at and really feel like he deserves to stay, but I think he's making his job more and more and more hard for the club to manage Manchester United. Why should he obviously say that United really need some time? Maybe he's like, he doesn't want to obviously give himself what we call, or put himself on the cross. Like, my team is obviously going to be performing big and better all the time. You understand? So that's all what we had in here for the club of Manchester United, the Balebas, Mazraoui and Ruben Amorim. I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about this video, first video of the day, and more is yet to come as far as this game of Manchester United and Arsenal is really coming in through thick and hard. I'm out. Bye-bye.